This is a 1971 Volvo 142S. In the original clip, I accidentally said 124 because dyslexia strikes again. But this is a 142S from 1971. Up front is a 2.0 liter carbureted inline 4, and down below is a 4-speed manual transmission. If you'd like to read more of my thoughts, head on over to carmarshal.com/overdrive. And as you can probably hear, it is open header. So it might be a little hard to hear me throughout this review, but we're gonna make it work because this car is just too cool. But let's get back to that 2.0 liter inline 4. Well, it's a twin carb and it makes a great noise. It's not powerful by any means at all. And the owner, Nick, which thank you, Nick, for letting me do this review. Nick did put a big cam in it, but we'll explain more about that in a little bit. I actually talked to Nick about everything that he did. But it's a plucky little 2-liter. It's super fun, it's responsive, and as far as Nick has owned the car, it's been really reliable. Here we go! It's not fast by any means, but it's so fun to drive. Now, like I said, paired to it is a 4-speed manual. I believe this is the first 4-speed manual I've reviewed on the channel, and honestly, I'm a big fan. It drives just like a 5-speed. Now, the 4-speed does have a pretty long throw, I do have to admit, but you really don't mind it. It's not a really long throw that sucks. The clutch feels like the clutch of any modern car. Actually, I take that back. It doesn't feel like a modern clutch because it doesn't feel electronically assisted, but it feels great. It's super smooth, and I absolutely love it. Driving this car is super easy. I know I'm yelling because it's loud, but honestly, you know, one finger on the wheel, it's doing great. And Nick has the suspension set up perfectly where it rides like a normal car, although it is a lot lower. But let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have one of the coolest speedometers I think I've ever seen in a car. The speed is actually an orange line that comes across the dash. And there's a little arrow. That arrow is so you can actually place where the speed limit is so you don't go over the speed limit. That is really cool. Down below that, I have my fuel tank and temperature on the left, warning lights in the middle, and then my odometer on the right. To the left, I have a couple of different buttons. I have my headlights, windshield wipers, choke, defroster, and that sort of stuff. I kind of like how it's just kind of tossed on the dash. There's no real switch panel, it's just there. To the right, I do have my fan switches, cigarette lighter, warning light, and then we get to the temperature knob. They're actually sort of like gears. You actually kind of pull them down. Really weird, but I really like it. It's very useful. Then to the right of that, we have an ashtray and the radio. I think it's hilarious that the radio is so far off to the right, it's in front of the passenger. The interesting thing about all of this is that this is sort of the era where creature comforts started to really start to come around. It had defrosters and it had a radio, something that in years prior weren't the most common. But Volvo didn't really know where to put all of these creature comforts, so they just kind of put them wherever they could. The seats are really comfortable, although this seat keeps reclining and I don't know why. But the seats are really comfortable. This is a 2-door, but it does have a back seat, so we'll do a back seat review. All right, so I'm in the back of the Volvo 142S. It's really spacious back here for being a 2-door. Honestly, I would not mind riding back here. The seats are kind of bouncy. I don't think any creature comforts. I get little ashtrays, but that's literally it. Oh wait, I have a center console. That has nothing on it. It's just soft fabric, but really nice back seats, honestly. I wouldn't mind riding back here. Now, the look of this car looks awesome. Nick has done a really cool job. I really like the looks of it. And at first I was like, wow, that thing is slammed. I don't think I could drive that. That's gonna be really uncomfortable. It's not the case. Nick has set up this car nearly perfectly to where it rides beautifully. And honestly, this whole driving experience has been great. I love the accelerator. It feels mechanical because it is. The clutch feels great. The shifting feels great. The seats are comfortable. And really, I just love the mechanicalness of this car. It's like a wristwatch. with all the little gears and levers and all this stuff. There is no ECU. I am the ECU. If the car starts running weird, it's my fault. I need to fix it. I just love how raw this car is. Nothing is held back. And yeah, sure, it's not powerful, but it doesn't need to be fun and engaging and exciting. Now, Nick is the one who built this car, made it what it is. When he got it, it was stock. So I did take some time to talk to him about what he did to this car. So here's that now. All right, so this is the owner, Nick. What have you done to this thing?
Let's see. IPD springs, 15 by 10.5 negative 44 American Racing Wheel AR23s. Fast Tommy's fender flares. It's a 2006 V6 Mustang wing. Subi Speed Velox diffuser. Big IPD cam. Fender mirrors. Original interior. Besides the cup holder, that's pretty much it. It's all just stock.
And overall, I have to say, again, I just love how mechanical this car is. And just how easy to drive is really, really just astonishing. It's an old car, yes. This is from 1971. But I honestly don't have a lot of the old car problems that you would think of. Sure, it has carbs, and on a rainy, wet day, they might act up. Sure, of course. But I'm not uncomfortable. I feel like a lot of people put up with old cars that are uncomfortable just because they are old. But this, you don't have to put up with the uncomfortableness. This thing is seriously, seriously cool. And I wish that cars still felt like this. Because cars are faster nowadays. They're faster, they're more reliable, of course. But cars just don't feel like this anymore. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you, Nick, for letting me review your Volvo. This thing is so cool. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.
Aside from my soul.